Welcome back to Racing Live on TalkSport 2. Now, if you like your racing, with a twist of danger, a dash of scandal, and the odd shady character lurking in the parade ring, then you're going to love this. Author Andy Catling has swapped hospital wards for saddles in his novel Odds and Sods, a gripping racing thriller that gallops through the murky side of the sport we love. I caught up with Andy earlier this week to talk turf, tension, and the secrets behind his shady talk.
General synopsis, it's a very sort of fast-paced thriller, sort of set in smoking boozers throughout the land, Newmarket Racecourse and underworld alleys. It features grifters McQueen and his con artist Gabby, and they hook up with an ex-old French trainer Francoise to run the ultimate racing scam, aided by his dream team of Cockney rebels and northern souls and a speed machine horse. It's a race to settle old scores and grudges that run deep.
When did you come up with the idea, Andy?
Yeah, so it was when sort of COVID started back in March 2020. I was off work for 6 months. I started to pen the idea then, and I retired from my next job about 18 months ago, which gave me time really to finish off the novel.
And have you always been interested in horse racing, Andy?
Yeah, very much. I mean, as a teenager, I used to, probably about 16, 17, I used to chalk up the odds on a blackboard in my right. in North London, and but over the years I've really failed to take much money from the bookies' deep satchels, unfortunately. But and it's always been my trouble. I think he's fast women and slow horses. Yeah.
So what year's that then, Andy? Around the time, what was the main horse at the time?
I think probably my favourite at the time there probably would have been Brigadier Gerard.
Oh, right.
At the 2000 Guineas, beat Mill Reef and other horses, and was only beaten once in his career, and ridden by Joe Merson. He was trained by Dick Hearn, and that was my favourite horse certainly of all time.
And you're a flat racing man, yeah?
Yeah, I prefer the flat. Over the last few years, I've been to Cheltenham a few times. Yeah, it's very, very exciting. Obviously, it's probably a little bit more of a spectacle on the national hunt side of things, but I think it's always slightly been easier to make a little bit of money on the flat rather than jump. So yeah, jump's probably 25%, flat 75% of my interest.
And what's the feedback been so far on Odds and Sods?
Yeah, really excellent, thanks. Since the book was published only a couple of weeks ago, it's already attracted plenty of 5-star reviews, with people sort of comparing it with Dick Francis meeting Roddy Doyle, if you like. So, yeah, that's interesting from there.
Yeah, good stuff. And Kim Bailey you were telling me about as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I just looked on, I popped a copy to Kim Bailey a couple of weeks ago, the National Hunt trainer, and it's fantastic. He's put it on his blog this morning, so that's really interesting, and that's hopefully some good exposure for me. And getting back to the book, I think if you a general idea to the listeners, and if you like back in the day, the Sting movie with Paul Newman and Robert Redford, and recently BBC's The Hustle and Ocean's 11, I'm sure you'll really enjoy this book. It's got that sort of feel to it, and there's also a nod to my favourite band, The Who, in there as well.
And I understand, Andy, that you were getting very, very excited on Saturday at the Derby. One of few people who got excited at the Derby on Saturday, because you have a share in an exciting colt.
Yeah, that's right. We couldn't really make it up, to be honest with you, Tony. I've got a very small share on a horse called Lazy Griff in the Midland Park.
Wow.
Syndicate. So I went down to Epsom last week to watch it run, and as we know, it came second in the Derby. So I'm still on cloud sort of 900, I think, and I was telling all my friends locally here in Bedfordshire to back it, and we got odds with 150 to 1 with Ladbroke days before the race. So lots of friends had 5s and 10s each way, so they owe me a couple of pints now.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, having fun days out, and it doesn't get much better than apart from winning, but it doesn't get much better than finishing second in the Derby. I know, it's just absolutely incredible. We've got high hopes for Lazy Griff moving forward. He's in all the big races. In the Irish Derby, the German Derby, there's a French Group 1 coming up next month as well, and I think he's also been into Yesterday and the Queen Elizabeth at Ascot in July. So yeah, if he keeps fit and healthy, hopefully he will go on and become a very, very classy horse. Well, he is a classy horse at the moment, but it'd be lovely to win Group 1 with him, certainly. Wonderful stuff, wonderful. Finally, Andy, thanks for joining us. Where can listeners, just before you go, can you tell listeners how you can purchase and get your hands on Odds and Sods?
Yeah, fine, thank you. So Yeah, my publishers are a company called Troubadour, which you can Google there. Also, it's on Amazon and all good bookshops. I've got 10% of the profits going to the Injured Jockey Fund on this as well. So if you do purchase the book, there's a good charity there involved with it as well. And the book's selling for less than £1.50 a beer at your local racetrack, so it's not too expensive. And my real ambition is to get this book in the hands of the director Guy Ritchie, as people are telling me that the book would make a really brilliant Netflix movie. So that's my ambition, certainly, to get it over to the mainland.
Well, that would be good stuff, wouldn't it? And remember where you heard it first as well. Andy, thanks very much for joining me on TalkSport 2 on Racing Live, and best of luck with Odds and Sods.
Cheers, fella. Thank you very much indeed.
Great to speak to Andy earlier this week, second in the Derby. He also told me he's got a really low, a small share in the horse, but he's looking at $3,500 coming back from the winnings of finishing second in the Derby. Fantastic. We've got our third race to come here.